The story begins and we see Xiaocheng asking Yin Wudao if he knows who he is. Yin Wudao replies, questioning if he is the trash of the Jiang family. Xiaocheng declares that he is the Dragon King Palace Lord, Dragon King Xiaochen. Yin Wudao, shocked, asks if he is the legendary Dragon King. Xiaocheng explains that he purposely hid himself there to live a simple life and accuses Yin Wudao of daring to steal his woman. Yin Wudao pleads for forgiveness, but Xiaocheng states that in the Dragon King's dictionary there is no word called forgiveness. Then, Xiaocheng chokes Yin Wudao and starts to leave. Yin Wudao, now a spirit, thinks to himself that he was killed just because of that. He then sees a beautiful girl and thinks about how stunning she is. The system girl announces that the system detects the villain has died and wonders who this new person could be. Then the system girl activates the system and initiates the transferring god-tier arch-villain system into Yin Wudao's body. Suddenly, powerful energy emerges and enters Yin Wudao's body. In his inner vision, he sees the Dragon King's mother-in-law telling Xiaocheng that he cannot come there at will and must leave immediately. Xiaocheng responds that Ru Xu is his wife and he will solve the problem himself without any outside help. The Dragon King's mother-in-law retorts that the Jiang family owes 10 billion and questions what he will do about it, accusing him of being a waste and saying Ru Xu is blind if she chooses him. Seeing this, Yin Wudao, in shock, thinks that he is not dead and realizes he has been reborn. Looking at his watch, he understands that he has returned to half an hour before he was strangled to death by Dragon King Xiaochen. The system girl announces that the god-level arch-villain system has been activated and that the system task has been published with the mission to survive. Puzzled, Yin Wudao wonders what it is. He looks into the system and is shocked to see a countdown of 29:59. Yin Wudao realizes that, in other words, he will die after half an hour. Meanwhile, future wife Dragon King Jang Ru arrives and asks Yin Wudao why he is sweating so much. Seeing this, Xiaocheng looks quite angry. Yin Wudao tells Ruoxo not to come close and thinks if she wants him to die quickly. At that moment, the Dragon King's mother-in-law addresses Yin Wudao, advising him not to be angry, as the useless bastard is not worth his anger. She then turns to Xiaocheng angrily and explains that due to Mr. Yin's kindness, he has helped the Jiang family by investing tens of billions of dollars, and Ruoxu has decided to marry Yin Wudao. Flustered, Yin Wudao thinks if they are not worried about his life after this. Xiaocheng then states that the 10 billion investment was arranged by him and that he is the director Xiao of the leading company. Upon hearing this, Ruoxu slaps Xiaocheng and tells him to shut up, questioning if he thinks the Xiao surname can be related to the Xiao leader. Ruoxu tells Xiaocheng not to claim something that belongs to others, as it will only make her look down on him. Seeing this, Yin Wudao thinks that if she wants to talk, she shouldn't hit him. Still angry, Ruoxu states that the Jiang family doesn't keep useless trash and that she kicked him out of the family. Panic-stricken, Yin Wudao thinks that it is all over and that he will die. Xiaocheng calmly tells Ruoxu that she will regret it. Yin Wudao, realizing Xiaocheng is going crazy, desperately thinks someone should stop him and starts reacting strangely. In the midst of this, the Dragon King's mother-in-law advises Yin Wudao not to hit Xiaocheng impulsively, as it will only dirty his hands. Ruoxu tells Yin Wudao that she has no relationship with Xiaocheng and pleads for her sake to let him go. Yin Wudao thinks that it's Xiaocheng who won't let him go. Xiaocheng asserts that this is a fight and declares himself the Dragon King. His 3 men agree, greeting him as Dragon King. Yin Wudao thinks about the rumors which state that the Dragon King Palace is the #1 organization in the overseas underground world, holding great power and respectable status. The Dragon King has 3 generals under his command, the evil tyrant hires and the god of wealth Jian Lu, who is in charge of wealth. The god of wealth declares that daring to oppose the Dragon King will result in the cancellation of contracts worth tens of billions. The tyrannical god states that just a phone call from him would make the Yin Jiang family disappear from Jiangcheng. Jian Lu asserts that as long as the Dragon King gives the order, people will start killing. Yin Wudao, panicking and feeling overwhelmed, thinks about how it feels like a dead end again and wonders if he is going to die once more. Unacceptable, the Jiang family is still facing bankruptcy and asks Lord Yin Wudao to fulfill his earlier promise. Yin Wudao replies that it depends on Miss Jiang's attitude. Ruoxu thinks about how, ever since Xiaochen came, even though they are not husband and wife, she has never treated him badly. She realizes he is just a liar who didn't reveal his identity to her. Now to save her family, she knows she must persuade Master Yin Wudao. She worries that Yin Wudao, being a playboy, arrogant, and domineering, might ruin her life because of her family. She then pleads with him to save her Jiang family. Yin Wudao replies that he can save the Jiang family, but she knows what she has to do. Wondering what he means, the system girl announces that new quests have been released. The side quest is to capture the heart of the cute girl Jang Ru, with the mission requiring her favorite level to reach 90 for completion. The quest reward includes 1 Heaven's Vanity Point in business talent. Yin Wudao, surprised, realizes that the current level is at -100 and thinks it will be challenging. Roxu, for the sake of her family, decides that she must kiss Yin Wudao despite her feelings. Yin Wudao comments on how she must hate him but has to pretend to like him, acknowledging how uncomfortable it must be for her. Roxu states that she doesn't hate Yin Wudao. Yin Wudao responds skeptically, questioning if she truly means it from her heart. He dismisses the idea of investing 10 billion yuan nonsensically, stating that he is not her licking dog. However, he suggests there's much to discuss for a business proposal, proposing to use 10 billion to acquire Grub Jang. The Dragon King's mother-in-law reacts with surprise at the idea of acquisition. Yin Wudao acknowledges that this is a difficult choice for Ruoxu but asserts it's the only solution. He suggests that after she considers it, Ruoxu should come to his villa to sign the contract. The system girl issues a warning noting a rapid drop in likes and advising the host to change strategy. Yin Wudao reassures her, saying not to worry because he is more skilled at dealing with women than the system. Afterwards, at the house beside Jang River, Yin Wudao arrives and the guard informs him, addressing him as master. Yin Wudao acknowledges that he didn't give them a vacation and expresses his own misfortune. He calls out for Kenya to hurry out. Kenya enters looking cute. She remarks that Yin Wudao came home early, apologizing for not preparing hot water for his bath yet. Yin Wudao, observing Kenya, thinks about her favorability rating of 90, love, and her fear, wondering why she's scared if she truly loves him. He asks her about her hand, and Kenya explains that it's nothing serious. Yin Wudao, still thinking to himself, admits he's very angry right now and instructs Kenya to quickly prepare the hot water for his bath, which might be the reason for her fear. Reflecting further, he remembers the incident of his near-death experience and how it fits perfectly with his role as a villain. Addressing Kenya, he instructs her to clean the meditation room quickly as he wants to use it. Kenya agrees and says she will go now to clean the room. Yin Wudao reflects that despite acquiring Kenya as repayment for a debt, he intends to treat her well in the future now that he knows she loves him. Using his magic, he emits energy in all directions. Meanwhile, a system girl observes that although she assisted him in opening his cultivation, Yin Wudao's cultivation speed is remarkably fast, confirming his talent. She feels confident that she made the right choice in selecting him. She also notes that the jade piece she possesses is a valuable treasure that can help her evade pursuit from wandering gods. Yin Wudao continues to think about the Julong infuriating key technique, marveling at its incredible power. After cultivating to cleanse his marrow and cut tendons, he feels a profound sense of comfort throughout his entire body. He recalls reading an ancient text about the expulsion of impurities that occurs during cultivation, which aligns perfectly with his current experience. Kenya arrived with ginseng soup for Yin Wudao. Observing his physique, Yin Wudao remarked casually about his endurance, hinting at Kenya's apparent excitement. After sipping the soup, Yin Wudao remarked casually, "I'm just joking. This soup is actually quite delicious." Concerned, Kenya asked Yin Wudao to reconsider his involvement with the girl from the previous night, fearing retaliation from her soldier brother. Yin Wudao responded with confusion, questioning Kenya about the girl's identity and excusing himself to take a shower. Reflecting after his shower, Yin Wudao noticed something surprising in the mirror and discovered a beautiful girl peacefully asleep in the nearby bed. Yin Wudao noted that Su Kenya seemed to have brought up the topic. Considering the new girl, Yin Wudao thought to himself that she appeared quite attractive as a newcomer. Zhang Renji, one of Zhang's 4 young masters, teasingly asked if Yin Wudao liked her and offered to introduce her to him. Yin Wudao thought indignantly that Renji was the reason for this situation and questioned his sanity for bringing him here. He pondered the potential dangers associated with such actions. The system girl announced a new mission for Bingwan, Lin Fang, approaching the system, "Stay alive." Yin Wudao was surprised that things weren't settled yet. Guards reported an intrusion, and Yin Wudao watched in surprise as a young man fought off all the guards. Observing the battle, Yin Wudao decided it was better to stay out of it. The young man glared at the camera, and Yin Wudao watched his aggressive display on the screen. Reflecting on the situation, Yin Wudao found the young man's assertiveness intimidating and realized his chances might be slim in this encounter. The young man, known as Warrior King Lin Fang, entered the room and ordered everyone to leave. Yin Wudao came out and asked who dared to enter his house without permission. Lin Fang introduced himself as Lin Fang and stated that he had come to find his sister, Lin Ru. He warned Yin Wudao that any harm to her would result in severe consequences. Yin Wudao responded, questioning Lin Fang's audacity to shout at him. Lin Fang threatened to fight Yin Wudao. In his mind, Yin Wudao thought confidently, Just give it a try, Julong infuriating Qi. He struck back with powerful energy against Lin Fang's attack. Yin Wudao realized the immense strength of Lin Fang and feared he might lose with just one blow if the battle continued. Lin Fang, grabbing Yin Wudao by the neck, expressed surprise at Yin Wudao's ability to withstand his attack, noting that he was stronger than typical wealthy heirs. However, he insisted that Yin Wudao should not touch his sister. Yuro intervened, telling her brother to stop and clarifying that there was a misunderstanding about Yin. Lin Fang asked Yuro what had happened. Yuro explained that she had been bullied by bad people the previous night but was unharmed thanks to Sister Qingya's help. She emphasized that young Master Yin had nothing to do with it, and that she came home safely. Lin Fang criticized the situation, stating that normally people in such situations should be taken to the hospital, not brought home. Qingya defended herself, stating she was a medical nurse. Lin Fang commented sarcastically about rich people having good connections. In anger, Yin Wudao responded to the Lin family, expressing his frustration. He recounted his family's history, his grandfather's heroic deeds in border defense, his father's meticulous land acquisitions, and his mother's substantial annual tax contributions. He questioned why the Lin family would slander the efforts of 3 generations of his family. Yuro intervened, urging her big brother to apologize to young Master Yin, insisting that he was not a bad person. Lin Fang, hesitating, admitted his mistake and apologized. Then, taking his sister's hand, he suggested they leave quickly, saying they didn't mean to stay any longer and bid goodbye. Yin Wudao stopped them, demanding if he had given permission for them to leave. Lin Fang asked if there was anything else, pointing out that he had seriously injured 4 of Yin Wudao's bodyguards and offered to pay appropriate compensation. Yin Wudao mocked the offer, questioning what Lin Fang could pay with, noting that his sister sang in bars to earn money and implying that their family needed money. Yuro tried to reason with her brother, explaining that she was trying to ease his burden because she knew he was working hard for their mother's sake. Lin Fang, reflecting bitterly, lamented that he had been deceived for 30 years and felt compelled to harass the poor. Yin Wudao proposed an idea, suggesting that instead of discussing tricking poor parents or glorifying hard work, Lin Fang could not only pay the compensation fee but also receive an additional $1 million. He offered Lin Fang his card and suggested he become his bodyguard. Lin Fang, filled with anger, responded that he had sworn never to be a minion again when he left the camp. Yuro reasoned with her brother, reminding him that his oath couldn't buy food and that their mother's surgery couldn't be postponed any longer. She then took the card, calming her anger, and expressed that she believed young Master Yin to be a good person, stating she was willing to serve him. Meanwhile, the system announced to Yin that the Survive mission was complete, rewarding him with all attribute points in various skills such as tactics, fighting, shooting, rock climbing, parachuting, driving, and formation. However, the system noted that since the follower's loyalty level was only 20, vanity points could not be obtained until the loyalty level exceeded 100. Yin Wudao considered the combination of the 9 dragons' true key and the warrior king attribute to be completely invincible. He acknowledged that the rewards were great, but wondered if it wasn't really hard to get vanity points. Yuro and Lin Fang expressed their gratitude, saying they really appreciated his help and would repay him in the future. Yin Wudao thought to himself that Lin Fang's loyalty was quite good, noting that his loyalty was at 20, wondered. He then wondered about Lin Yuro's favorability, which was at 60, amazed. The system girl announced the release of new quests, including a side quest to get Lin Yuro's girl, a vanity point, and a treasure talent. The quest required the opponent's favorability level to reach 95. Yin Wudao mused about what an innocent little girl Lin Yuro was. As Yuro and Lin Fang were about to leave, Qingya wished them to be careful on the way. Yin Wudao invited Yuro to come and play often. Then Yin Wudao acknowledged Qingya's help, noting that without it, Lin Fang would definitely have beaten him up. The system girl indicated that the favorability was now at 80 love. Qingya remarked that this was the last time, stating that even if it's bad, it needs to be fixed. Yin Wudao wondered why the favorability was at 80 and if his love had decreased. He thought Qingya had really misunderstood. Yuro advised her brother that he could have just slipped away and mentioned that after sending their mother to the hospital, he should go to work at Mr. Yin's house and not be late on the first day. Fang expressed frustration, stating that since returning, Yuro had been talking about Yin Wudao and suggesting that she had been charmed by him. He warned her not to go near Yin Wudao, citing his bad reputation. Yuro dismissed these concerns, saying that those were just rumors from the outside world and that Yin Wudao was not bad. At that moment, Sang Bao arrived with a bulldozer and began breaking down the wall. He then stepped out and declared that the demolition deadline had arrived, and if the people inside didn't move, their whole family would be razed to the ground. Fang responded that he was there this time and would see who dared to tear it down. Euro added that they didn't want to sell a house because the purchase price was lower than usual. Sang Bao questioned if he cared and asked if they thought he was scared. Mother Lin addressed Sang Bao, apologizing for the kids and asking him not to pay attention to them, stating that they had agreed to tear it down and would move soon. Sang Bao kicked Mother Lin and cursed, expressing his frustration with bad luck. Fang, enraged, exclaimed how dare Sang Bao hit his mother, calling it courting death, and stated he would see how Sang Bao made him move. Sang Bao responded that he could have Fang taken to jail, and as for his mother and sister, Fang thought he had to be patient and should not go to jail now, as no one would protect his mother and sister if he did. Sang Bao taunted Fang by pointing to his cheek and daring him to hit it. Suddenly, Yin Wudao arrived and punched Sang Bao hard. Yin Wudao stated he couldn't stand seeing Euro struggling like that. Sang Bao fell to the ground. Euro, surprised, asked if it was Mr. Yin. Fang, equally surprised, inquired why Mr. Yin was there. Yin Wudao explained that since Fang worked for him, he was visiting his house. Sang Bao, getting up angrily, demanded to know who dared to fight against him. Seeing Yin Wudao, Sang Bao became nervous and asked if it was Master Yin, wondering if there was anything good that brought Yin Wudao there personally. He reminded Yin Wudao that he was Sang Bao, a member of the Jang family, who had cleaned his shoes before. Hearing Sang Bao's words, Yin Wudao thought about the Jang family member, recognizing it as one of the 4 families. He then picked up a metal tool and remarked that Sang Bao must be from the Jang Renji family, explaining why he looked familiar and questioned if the tool was his wrench. Sang Bao confirmed it was. Yuru wondered why young Master Yin was befriending such a person. Feng replied that he had already told her they were the same kind of people. Yin Wudao then struck Sang Bao and accused him of being one of those people, even daring to hit mothers, calling him a beast. Sang Bao, coughing, challenged Yin Wudao for hitting him despite knowing who he was and questioned if he was declaring war on the Jang family. Yin Wudao responded that he did not care. Yuro, witnessing this, thought how different Yin Wudao was. Feng reflected that although Yin Wudao was arrogant and domineering, he was also helpful and cunning. Yin Wudao considered that the best way to win people's hearts was to appear impressive in front of them, even if it seemed a bit pushy. Meanwhile, Sang Bao spoke on the phone saying that since young Master Yin wanted to do things this way, he would comply and ask the Jang family for help. Yuro wondered if this would cause much trouble for young Master Yin. Shortly after, a car arrived and Lu Fangi, the illegitimate son of the Jang family, stepped out. Lu Fangi addressed Yin Wudao, questioning why he was at the Jiang family's construction site instead of the club and whether he wasn't afraid of getting his shoes dirty. Yin Wudao recognized him as the recently acknowledged illegitimate child of the Jiang family and mockingly asked if there was no one else in the family that they had to send an illegitimate child. Lu Fangi, feeling mocked, attacked Yin Wudao but thought to himself how bold Yin Wudao was for not being afraid of injuring the Jiang family and how fast he was to dodge the attacks. Feng intervened, declaring that with him there, Lu Fangi couldn't hurt Yin Wudao. Lu Fangi remarked that the fight had started. Feng landed a powerful punch on Lu Fangi's hand, causing him to fall to the ground. Lu Fangi thought to himself that Feng was quite powerful, and he didn't expect to find such a master in Jiang. Realizing he couldn't win with strength alone, he decided to rely on his movement skills. Lu Fangi moved swiftly towards Feng. Observing this, Feng thought that the ghost movement technique made it difficult to distinguish the real body with the naked eye. Feng closed his eyes, and as Lu Fangi rapidly approached him from behind, he taunted Feng by saying he had made a mistake. Lu Fangi struck Feng with a powerful punch. Feng, feeling the impact, remarked on the speed of the attack and, while airborne, declared that Lu Fangi was still lacking. Yin Wudao observed that Lu Fangi was actually on par with Lin Fang and suspected that he was not an ordinary person. The system girl detected a new mission involving Lu Fang titled Shura, with the achievement of being the world's #1 killer. The mission was to defeat Lu Fang, with rewards including 36 vanity points and the flying blood blade lotus wand. Yin Wudao, realizing Lu Fang was a killer, speculated that he must have used his ghost movement technique in conjunction with his flying knife technique. He considered whether Lin Fang could stop the 36 knives and affirmed that the prize would be his, asserting his position as the master. Meanwhile, Sang Bao slowly approached from behind. Yin Wudao thought to himself that the dog should have distracted Lin Fang. He considered himself lucky that the Julong key transformation had enhanced his sixth sense, making him more sensitive. He then turned around and casually remarked that it was fortunate. Sang Bao, asserting his authority from the Jang family, threatened that disobedience would lead to their destruction. He started to attack Europe, but suddenly Yin Wudao intervened, causing Sang Bao to retreat. Yuro thought to herself how Yin Wudao had been injured while trying to save her. Feng asked Yin Wudao if he was okay. Lu Fangi stated that it had been a while since he fought seriously and urged everyone to focus on the fight. Yin Wudao confidently took out his weapon and assured them that there was no problem, indicating he could handle it. Sang Bao apologized to Yin Wudao, acknowledging that since Lu Fang had initiated the conflict, he would be punished for his recklessness. After delivering a powerful punch to Sang Bao, Yin Wudao was seen soaring through the air. Seeing this, Yuru thought to herself that he was very strong. Days later, when Sang Bao fell to the ground, Yuru thought that Yin Wudao truly deserved the title of Warrior King. Despite not being proficient, his sheer strength alone was impressive. Yuru asked if he was hurt from earlier. Yin Wudao reassured her, thanking her for her concern and insisting he was fine. Yuru expressed her apologies for their role in his injury, emphasizing it was their fault. She then thought to herself that this was how a hero saves a damsel with minimal harm. A perfect, brilliant strategy. Yin Wudao replied that there was no need for apologies, stating his commitment to helping those in need regardless of familial ties. He expressed disdain for those who bullied the vulnerable and exploited others for personal gain, likening them to animals and vampires. Hearing this, the system noted an increase in Yuru's favorability towards him. Yuru, impressed by his words and actions, thought to herself how handsome and kind-hearted he was, marveling at such a man in the world. Yin Wudao thought to himself that the fight was still ongoing, and he feared it might continue until one of them was seriously injured or worse. At that moment, another man arrived and intervened, shouting for Lu Fang to stop as they were acquaintances. They both sat down together. Renji asked Yin Wudao if the girl was the same one they had seen at the nightclub that night. Yin Wudao confirmed that she was. Renji then mentioned that his people acted recklessly without knowing about Yin Wudao's relationship with her. He offered a check for 10 million, half for resettlement and the other half as compensation, asking for Yin Wudao's opinion on the matter. Yin Wudao turned to Yuru and told her that she could decide, considering she had already taken care of sending her mother to the hospital. Yuru expressed surprise, asking if it was up to her. Yin Wudao reiterated that it was her decision whether to accept or reject the offer. Yuru asked Renji if he intended to compensate only her or everyone in the old town. Renji responded that it was only for her, explaining that compensating everyone for their old houses would cost billions. Yuru declined the offer, saying she couldn't accept it. Renji, in anger, told Yuru not to underestimate his good intentions, mentioning that the funds allocated for buying settlements were not below market prices. He insisted, asking how much she wanted and urging her to tell him. Yuru reiterated that she didn't want it. Meanwhile, Yin Wudao smoked a cigarette silently, signaling the end of the discussion. Renji then pushed Yuru back and told her that if she didn't agree, they should stop discussing it and leave. Renji confronted Yin Wudao, questioning if he was turning against him over a woman and challenging him to fight the Jang family. Yuru affirmed her support, and Renji warned that she shouldn't blame him for any recklessness that might follow. Renji said to Yuru that she believed Yin Wudao had suddenly approached her and acted romantically. He claimed that Yin Wudao had seen her at the nightclub and had asked him to send her to his bed. Yin Wudao thought to himself angrily about the pain of heartache, feeling worse than physical wounds from being hit so many times. He anticipated that Yuru would surely slap him upon hearing Renji's words. Yuru asked Yin Wudao directly if what Renji said was true. Yin Wudao was certain that she would slap him, but believed he could make her fall in love with him in 10 seconds if he didn't run away. Yuru slapped Yin Wudao hard, calling him shameless. Yin Wudao thought it was time and then began speaking, addressing Yuru about her peerless beauty. He expressed regret for going to the nightclub and meeting her, lamenting that it had led to sleepless nights, involvement in demolition, injuries, and the severed ties with friends of over 10 years. Yin Wudao left sadly, thinking to himself that if loving someone meant being shameless, then he was shameless indeed. Yuru apologized, and Yin Wudao, upon seeing her reaction, thought to himself, mission success. Fang asked if the Jiang family issue was resolved. Yuru replied that they should chat, as she needed to attend to something at school and left first. Fang commented on Yuru's embarrassed reaction, remarking that she blushed so much. Yin Wudao wondered if Yuru was still studying at school. Fang mentioned that she was majoring in cultural heritage identification at Jiangxing University and was likely busy with her recent internship activities. Yin Wudao asked about Yuru's mother, and Fang reassured him that everything was fine. Yin Wudao then asked Lin Fang for his opinion on the events of the day, to which Fang replied that he thought there was something suspicious about it. Yin Wudao remarked that Lu Fang was a very cunning person and questioned how he could be so reckless in the midst of such a fierce battle. Lin Fang responded, saying he had similar thoughts. He believed Lu Fang's mindset was secretive, and even when confronting the boss, he didn't underestimate him. Lin Fang felt Lu Fang might be striving for the Wei family. Yin Wudao agreed, stating this was one reason he severed ties with the Jang family. He predicted that if Lu Fang was formidable enough, Jiang Renji wouldn't stand a chance against him, potentially causing turmoil within the Jiang family. Therefore, he suggested setting aside their current relationship and observing how things unfolded. Fang praised Yin Wudao for his wisdom. Yin Wudao then asked Lin Fang if there was any chance of winning in a bare-handed fight against Lu Fang to the death. Fang replied that they might be evenly matched bare-handed, but he noticed calluses on Lu Fang's fingers, indicating mastery in weapons. He admitted he didn't know what specific weapon Lu Fang used. Yin Wudao added that Lu Fang used a dagger. Fang commented that the boss was truly a genius and acknowledged that if the ghost movement technique matched that type of weapon, it could be effective. Fang further mentioned that if Lu Fang used a throwing dagger, his only recourse would be to fight him with a gun. Yin Wudao responded decisively, suggesting that Fang should indeed use a gun. Fang expressed concern about the strict regulations on firearms licenses, questioning how he could possibly obtain one. Yin Wudao assured him not to worry, stating that he would take care of it. Meanwhile, Sang Bao and Lu Fangi stood near the seed. Lu Fangi recalled their childhood together, reminiscing about the things they used to do. Sang Bao added that during those times, his shot was accurate up to 3 feet away. Lu Fangi acknowledged that he had caused Sang Bao trouble by having him stay at Wei's house for years. Sang Bao expressed gratitude, noting that Lu Fangi had once saved his life and he was willing to do anything for him. He asked Lu Fangi if he was sure about taking action against the Jang family. Lu Fangi mentioned that during his mother's time, she wasn't acknowledged and suffered torture due to her identity as a dancer. Now that he's returned, he intends to make the Jiang family pay for this blood debt. He criticized Jiang Renji for his incompetence in not investigating the market and the old city renovation project, which should have already been under his control. He mentioned that in a few days, there would be an old man's birthday banquet, and he planned to wait for Jiang Renji to show up there. He also expressed caution regarding Yin Wudao, mentioning that even the Dragon King Xiao Chen had lost to him. They needed to be careful with him. Sang Bao assured him not to worry, promising to avoid any conflicts with Yin Wudao in the future. Lu Fangi then asked if Sang Bao had found the person he was looking for, to which Sang Bao replied affirmatively, saying he would search and find them. Lu Fangi thought about how he had trained abroad for many years, surviving thanks to Yin Wudao's support. He resolved not to let go of Yin Wudao's hand again this time. Looking at a photo, he thought about Qingya. Yin Wudao returned home and Qingya told him that she had already returned. She asked him to change his shoes first. Qingya mentioned that the Jiang family had sent information that Jiang Lianqing's 60th birthday was approaching and that Yin Wudao was invited. Yin Wudao agreed and asked Qingya to accompany him when the time came. He also mentioned that their contract would end in about half a month, freeing her. He explained that her father, Yang, had once requested that she become his contract girlfriend for 3 years, and now he intended to fulfill his promise and release her. Qingya remarked, "That's 14 days, 8 hours, 42 minutes. At the party, Qingya and Yin Wudao arrived and the people there greeted them, acknowledging their presence with polite remarks. Yin Wudao responded with a greeting and wished everyone a good morning. A lady remarked on Yin Wudao bringing a guest, while a man commented on Qingya's beauty, addressing her as young Madam Yin. Qingya expressed disbelief to Yin Wudao about their conversations, to which he asked if she didn't like it. She hesitated and internally questioned what she had just said, reflecting on her impending departure and feeling conflicted about being called young madam. Renji approached and acknowledged Yin Wudao's presence, accusing him of using dissension to undermine the Jiang group and calling it arrogant. Renji declared that he would officially inherit the Jiang family during the banquet and warned Yin Wudao to stay away from Jiang Shi and Ruoxui or face his wrath. A girl chimed in, asserting that the group could still counterattack without Yin Wudao, implying his ambitions would fail. Yin Wudao responded confidently, suggesting that he wouldn't discuss how long it would take for them to kneel before him later. Renji asserted that he would never kneel and ask for help even if it meant dying on the spot. A girl echoed his sentiment, declaring that she would never bow her head before Yin Wudao. In the hall, a person called out to the audience, drawing their attention. Jiang Lianqing, the head of the Jiang family, thanked everyone for attending his birthday banquet. He acknowledged his advanced age and deteriorating health and explained that he invited everyone to bear witness to an important announcement. He declared that he had decided to pass his position as the head of the Jiang family to his son, revealing that his successor would be Lu Fang, the illegitimate child, and not Jiang Renji. A girl expressed surprise, questioning the decision, and a man responded with disbelief, questioning how the position of head of the family could be passed to an illegitimate child. The girl further wondered if Jiang Renji, despite his outrageous behavior, would truly lose his position as successor. Renji, in anger, questioned if his father had not only lost his legs but also his mind, accusing him of insanity for giving the title of head of the family to an illegitimate child. He demanded answers from the old man. Lu Fangi punched Renji and told him to rest, reminding him that it was their father's birthday banquet. Yin Wudao, observing this, muttered that Renji was an idiot. Kenya, seeing Lu Fang, expressed surprise, asking if he was back. Yin Wudao, sensing something amiss, thought that there was something wrong. The system girl then announced new quests, including a side quest to tease Su Kenya, a beautiful girl, with the mission requirement of reaching a certain level of liking from her to complete a medical talent quest. Yin Wudao realized that the girl Shura Lu Fang liked was Kenya. He then sarcastically questioned whose green hat this was, implying infidelity. Aunt Su demanded that Lu Fangi release her son, calling him a little bastard. Lu Fangi pushed Aunt Su aside, calling her a derogatory term. A man nearby remarked on the arrogance displayed and questioned how Jiang Langshan could give the head of the family position to such a rude individual. Yin Wudao thought to himself that Lu Fang indeed had quite a few tactics. Lu Fangi then commanded to bring a person forward and ordered them to kneel. Another man identified the person as Jang Ru, the housekeeper of the Yin family, and wondered why he was tied up. A different man admitted he was there to witness the drama. Lu Fangi revealed that he knew his mother's sudden death was caused by Jang Ru's poison. He accused them of cruelly poisoning his mother because she knew about their affair. This revelation left Aunt Sui and servant Jang Ru in shock. Lu Fangi then disclosed that Jiang Renji was not the eldest son of the Jiang family, but a descendant of the madam and a servant of the Jiang family, labeling it a shocking scandal. Yin Wudao expressed his realization about the scandal within the Jiang family, acknowledging that it made him understand something significant. Renji, in a fit of anger, denied Lu Fangi's claims, asserting that he was the eldest child. Lu Fangi, challenging this, presented a DNA test for Renji to see. Renji, upon seeing the test results, was shocked and confused. A girl nearby thought to herself that everything was over, lamenting that she had just gained a supporter. She also reflected on how everything had unfolded exactly as Yin Wudao had predicted. Lanqing declared that Jiang Renji would lose his Jiang surname and be expelled from the family, announcing his intention to divorce and remove Chen Sui from the house as well, ordering Jang Ru and Chen Sui to be dragged away. Renji pleaded with his father not to do this, reminding him that he was raised by him and asking to stay. Lu Fangi gave Renji an ultimatum to leave immediately or be thrown out. Desperate, Renji asked for someone's help, but a man responded that he wouldn't dare interfere in the Jiang family's affairs, while another added that not even the King of Heaven could save him. Yin Wudao reacted with a what, prompting Renji to turn to him, begging for his help and admitting his mistake. Renji promised never to oppose Yin Wudao again and offered the old town renovation project in exchange for his rescue. Yin Wudao suggested that he might reconsider if Jiangxing Central Hospital was included in the deal. Renji protested that it was too much, but Yin Wudao insisted he had no choice. Reluctantly, Renji agreed. Yin Wudao clapped, calling it a wonderful show. Lu Fangi told Yin that he didn't need to get involved since it was a family matter. Yin Wudao responded that he couldn't merely watch the Jiang family in danger, considering the long-standing friendship between the Yin and Jiang families. Lu Fangi reminded him that adults were responsible for their own words and actions, to which Yin Wudao agreed. Yin Wudao then accused the identification of being fake. Lu Fangi countered, stating that it was issued by Jiang University, the most authoritative institution in River City. Yin Wudao suggested they immediately confirm its authenticity, calling on Director Dong to tell everyone whether the appraisal was true. Director Dong Hao of the appraisal department at Jiang University was then addressed. Dong Hao found himself annoyed, thinking that Yin Wudao was too much for getting involved. As Yin Wudao approached Dong Hao, he reminded him that his son, Dong Fi, worked at his Shengtang group, implying that he would take good care of him. Dong Hao understood the implication and reluctantly agreed. Dong Hao then announced to everyone that the appraisal was fake and that Jiang Appraisal had never issued such a document. A man questioned if it was true, while a lady confirmed it must be fake. Lu Fangi remarked that tearing up the identity document wouldn't change anything, as everything was described by Jang Ru except for one additional evaluation. Yin Wudao, tearing up the report, dismissively commented that he hadn't heard anything from Jang Ru. Lu Fangi's guard demanded that servant Jang Ru repeat exactly what was said the previous day. Jang Ru, yielding under pressure, began to reveal that she and Chen Su had fallen in love 20 years ago. Yin Wudao abruptly interrupted, asserting that Aunt Su, being the first daughter of the Chen family in Yingxuan, would never lower her status to have an affair with Jang Ru. He reminded everyone that Jang Ru's family had served the Jiang family for generations and had received many favors. He condemned Jang Ru for slandering the madam and framing the young master, calling it an unfaithful and unrighteous act unworthy of a human being. Yin Wudao emphasized that while physical pain is temporary, the name of loyalty and righteousness would remain forever, stating that enduring death for a brief period could still save one's wife and children. Servant Jang Ru, feeling enlightened, confessed that Lu Fang had forced him to frame the madam and the young master. He vehemently denied having crossed any lines with the madam or having any relationship with the young master, asserting his loyalty to the Jang family. Lu Fangi, furious, accused Jang Ru of saying something entirely different the previous day. Jang Ru, in a desperate move to prove his innocence, declared his intention to end his life. Lu Fangi thought to himself about how, with just a few words, Yin Wudao had reversed reality and ordered the butler to commit suicide. He reflected on his own hard work over the years to attain justice and acknowledged Yin Wudao's formidable abilities, especially given his reputation for defeating the Dragon King. Yin Wudao told Lianqing that only he could handle the situation. Lu Fangi, infuriated, accused Yin Wudao of being cruel and making a fool out of him. Lianqing then declared that Jiang Lufeng was expelled from the Jang family, stating he no longer had a son like him. As the guards moved to apprehend Lu Fangi, he fought back and killed them all. Grabbing Aunt Xu by the neck, Lu Fangi threatened anyone who dared to interfere, stating that he had returned only for revenge and didn't care about the Jang family or their problems. Renji, crying out for his mother, remarked on Lu Fangi's cruelty. Yin Wudao expressed his disappointment, and Lianqing suddenly began to strike as well, prompting Renji to exclaim in disbelief at the fear and violence unfolding. Lu Fangi, crying out for his father, then turned to Yin Wudao, declaring that it was now his turn to face consequences for preventing him from legally inheriting the Jang family. Yin Wudao responded by accusing Lu Fangi of being hypocritical and more interested in the Jiang family's wealth than revenge. Lu Fangi threateningly told Yin Wudao to stop talking nonsense and promised to use his skills to make him suffer until the end. Qingya intervened, forbidding Lu Fangi from killing Yin Wudao. Lu Fangi, surprised, recognized her, calling out her name. Just then, one of Lu Fangi's guards informed him that Lu Man from the Red Shield's special forces had arrived. Acknowledging their swift arrival, Lu Fangi decided to retreat through the window, telling Yin Wudao that he would deal with him later. Yin Wudao looked over at Qingya, pondering if she was intoxicated, surprised that she seemed interested in wine despite his previous impression. Renji angrily warned Yin Wudao not to depart, stating he would confront him. Yin Wudao noted that Renji had already gone. Renji mourned the loss of his family, seeking guidance on the next steps. Yin Wudao advised against grieving at this time, stressing the need to stabilize the Jiang family. He promised to dispatch aid to help Renji manage the situation and take control of the Jiang family promptly. Renji approached Yin Wudao, expressing thanks and acknowledging him as the best for him. Yin Wudao showed off Renji's gratitude, reminding him they had been friends since childhood and he felt compelled to assist. Renji acknowledged Yin Wudao as a loyal brother. Yin Wudao then reminded Renji not to forget their agreement to transfer ownership of the central hospital and the old town renovation project under his name as soon as possible. Renji expressed to Miss Jiang that she had witnessed the events of the day, and because they were breaking their earlier agreement, she was now free to find someone else. He emphasized that he couldn't afford to offend Yin Wudao for her sake. Miss Jiang acknowledged her understanding of the situation. Renji suggested that she should consider giving in. He pointed out that in River City, no one could oppose Yin Wudao, who invariably obtained everything he desired. He added that she happened to be the woman he wanted. Miss Jiang tearfully responded, questioning if Renji felt guilty about all that had transpired. Yin Wudao intervened, asking rhetorically if she believed that everyone present wouldn't notice or if Jiang Lianqing didn't know the truth. He emphasized the formidable power of the Chen family of Yingxuan and warned of potential retaliation if the Jiang family were to rashly disown Chen Sui and dismiss Jiang Renji. Yin Wudao explained that Jiang Lianqing was in a delicate position and had to maintain his reputation, hence the decision to change the hair. He justified his actions as merely facilitating Jiang Lianqing's strategic step down. Upon hearing this, Miss Jiang and Qingya were surprised. Miss Jiang exclaimed that it was impossible, asserting that Jiang Lianqing would never disregard the Jiang family's bloodline just to protect himself. Yin Wudao responded by stating that Jang Ru was the second son of the Jiang family's 8th ancestor, sharing the same lineage as Jiang Lianqing. He pointed out that both Jiang Renji and Lu Fang carried the blood of the Jiang family. He posed a rhetorical question, asking if Miss Jiang were Jiang Lianqing, whom would she choose? But one strongly supported by Jiang Renji or Lu Fang, whose mother was a prostitute. The system girl's notifications indicated a change in favorability and resentment levels. Miss Jiang then declared that she would choose Jiang Renji. She pondered to herself how Yin Wudao knew so much, suspecting him to possibly be a villain. Qingya and Yin Wudao then left from there. Yin Wudao suggested that Qingya should go up first while he stayed to speak with Feng. Qingya acknowledged and left. Upon seeing this, Feng asked what was wrong with Qingya, noting that she seemed distracted throughout the entire incident. Yin Wudao replied that he didn't know either. He then changed the subject, saying to forget about Qingya and showing Feng what he had brought for him. Feng, upon seeing the desert eagle, exclaimed and asked where Yin Wudao got it from. Yin Wudao simply said he had his own methods. Feng remarked on the familiar feeling the gun gave him, reminiscent of his military days, but lamented that without a gun license he couldn't demonstrate his shooting abilities. Yin Wudao then showed him 2 gun licenses, explaining that his grandfather had helped him obtain them when he expressed concerns about being bullied. Feng questioned who would dare to bully Yin Wudao. Suddenly, they heard Kenya shouting from upstairs. Yin Wudao identified the voice as Kenya's, prompting Feng to immediately grab the gun and rush upstairs. Feng asked Kenya what had happened. Kenya responded by saying that nothing was wrong and asked what the matter was. Feng mentioned that they had heard a shout from downstairs. Kenya speculated that she might have seen a cockroach, explaining that she was usually more afraid of bugs. Feng reassured her by saying he would get someone to get rid of the bugs later. At that moment, Yin Wudao entered and remarked that it might not be a cockroach, but rather a bedbug. He then took Kenya's hand and pointed out the cigarette ash next to the cigar ashtray, wondering aloud when he had become so careless. Kenya protested that he was hurting her. Yin Wudao noted that cigar ashes are thin and crumble easily into small pieces. Kenya suggested that the ashes might have been caused by the wind. Yin Wudao questioned how Kenya could explain the sea sands, pointing out that it was the beach sand from outside the back window. He asked if her childhood sweetheart was there. Kenya denied it, pleading not to be misunderstood. Using his power, Yin Wudao demanded to know how anyone dared come to his house and mess around, implying they were looking for death. He then grabbed Sang Bao by the neck. From above, Lu Fangi called out Sang Bao's name. Meanwhile, the system girl issued a warning, advising the host to leave quickly due to Shura's wrath. As Lu Fangi attacked Yin Wudao, he declared that Wudao would pay with his life. Releasing his energy, Yin Wudao stated that the heavenly wrath was nothing significant and mentioned that he had broken through to the 2nd level of 9 Dragon True Tai the previous night. He then prepared to use his astral body protection to receive Lu Fangi's 36 flying daggers. Lu Fangi acknowledged Yin Wudao as a good fighter and decided to give him a taste of his technique. He launched a powerful attack, causing Yin Wudao to fall to the floor. Standing up, Yin Wudao coughed and remarked on the protagonist's aura. Lu Fangi expressed his amazement that Yin Wudao could make him use a special technique with his amusing body. However, he declared that Yin Wudao must die for taking over Kenya and murdering his brother. Kenya intervened and urged Lu Fangi to stop, pleading with him not to kill Yin Wudao. Lu Fangi questioned her, pointing out that she had risked her life twice to save Yin Wudao. Kenya explained that she didn't despise Yin Wudao and that she wouldn't have survived this long without him, emphasizing that he didn't take over her. In anger, Lu Fangi accused Su Kenya of being in love with Yin Wudao, feeling betrayed by her. Kenya, trying to clarify, stated that she wasn't sure what was wrong with her, but she just didn't want Yin Wudao to die. Yin Wudao sarcastically questioned the betrayal, implying that Su Kenya had an unusual relationship with Lu Fangi. Kenya insisted that it wasn't like that and explained to Yin Wudao that she only thought of Lu Fangi as a brother. Lu Fangi, however, retorted that Yin Wudao had not only taken over her but also her heart. He expressed his disdain for Yin Wudao, accusing him of manipulating Kenya and murdering his brother, vowing to make sure Yin Wudao perished that day. With that, he threw a spear towards Yin Wudao. Yin Wudao asked about Lin Fang's whereabouts, to which Fang responded by announcing his presence and firing a bullet at the spear heading towards Yin Wudao. Fang then fired at Lu Fangi, declaring that he wouldn't let Lu Fangi harm Yin Wudao. Lu Fangi questioned why Lin Fang, a king of soldiers, would help the enemy and become a villain's dog. Fang defended Yin Wudao, asserting that he was a good man and accusing Lu Fangi of framing his brother, killing his first mother, and forcing his own father to die, labeling Lu Fangi as worse than a dog. Lu Fangi, using his power technique, threw daggers at them, but Fang shot at each dagger, proclaiming that he would not be easily defeated when he had a gun in his hand and dismissing Lu Fangi's flying daggers. Lu Fangi, emitting purple energy, challenged Fang to see what he could do, but Fang shot the daggers, causing them to fall to the ground. Lu, glaring angrily, remarked that Lin Fang's accuracy was godly, as expected of the king of soldiers. Fang stood over Lu Fangi with his gun and acknowledged the compliment, then asked his boss what they should do with him. Lu Fangi left it to Fang's discretion, stating that it was a matter of kill or be killed. Kenya pleaded with Yin Wudao to let Lu Fangi live, offering herself to serve him for the rest of her life. Yin Wudao pushed her away, calling her offer ridiculous. He decided to let Lu Fangi go, remarking that he would make it happen for her since she wouldn't be able to forget him. He ordered her to leave with Lu Fangi, despite Kenya's protests. Lu Fangi urged Kenya to leave with him. As he took her away, he thought to himself that Yin Wudao would regret his decision. The system girl announced that the Kill Lu Fang mission was 98% complete, only the skill bonus remained. Yin Wudao, touching his body, warned not to overwhelm the skills, and a powerful energy flowed into him. Lu Fangi, feeling confused, expressed that he felt like he had forgotten something and questioned what was wrong with him. Kingya suggested that Lu Fangi could go alone. Lu Fangi, inquiring if Kingya was really in love with Yin Wudao, seemed conflicted. Kingya explained that Yin Wudao was not a bad guy and had saved her at the most desperate time in her life. She recalled a man telling her not to waste her energy because her father had already offered her to them, to which she had cried out for help. Yin Wudao had then intervened, killing the man and rebuking the others for harassing a helpless woman. Back in the present, Kingya questioned where Lu Fangi had been during that time. Lu Fangi apologized, expressing regret for not protecting her well, and vowed to return and win her back with sincerity while repaying the debt he owed her. Kingya, feeling sad, thought that they could not go back to the past. Turning to Yin Wudao, she hesitated, but he told her that since she was not going, she should come with him. Kingya thought to herself that she hadn't wronged Yin Wudao and was willing to comply with whatever he wanted from her. She hesitated, feeling unsure about the drink he offered. System Girl noted a high favorability towards Yin Wudao. Kingya touched her head, wondering why she felt lightheaded. Yin Wudao remarked that a woman's heart was fickle and expressed regret that there were still 3 hours left for the task. Placing a blanket over her, he told her to rest and assured her it was a matter between men and not concerning her. Leaving the room, Yin Wudao called to Feng, mentioning that if the grass wasn't eradicated from its roots, it would grow back again in the spring breeze. Feng thought to himself that Yin Wudao was indeed a villain after all. Yin Wudao thought about how he would return to River City. He planned to reclaim everything that belonged to him and eliminate anyone who opposed him. He noted that the boat had finally arrived. Lu Fangi said to Yin Wudao, asking why it was him. He reminded Yin Wudao that he had promised Kingya to let him go. Yin Wudao assured him that Kingya would never find out that he killed him, so there was no need to worry. Using his technique, Lu Fangi threw daggers and called Yin Wudao a bastard. Yin Wudao shouted to aim precisely. Feng wondered why Lu Feng's flying dagger's stance suddenly stopped working. Yin Wudao used his technique to halt the dagger's motion and then remarked that using the 9 dragons' true Kai to control the 36 flying daggers was a perfect match. He asked if it looked familiar. Lu Fangi acknowledged that it did seem familiar but couldn't recall exactly. Yin Wudao then launched a forceful attack towards Lu Fangi, causing him to stumble. Feng intervened, questioning how Yin Wudao knew about the 36 Blood Lotus flying daggers. Yin Wudao simply replied that he had just learned it. Feng expressed doubt, saying it was hard to believe. Reflecting quietly, Feng added that despite his disbelief, the technique was incredibly potent. System Girl announced that the mission was accomplished, with Lu Feng eliminated at 100% completion and awarded 1 pride point. Yin Wudao thought to himself about the system, noting its capabilities, and recalled encountering a striking woman when he was defeated by Xiao, likely the system lady, an unforgettable encounter. He mused that perhaps it was time to develop a system gesture or a unique system feature. Yin Wudao expressed his reverence at the riverside's small house shrine, stating that he truly worshipped the system master and beseeched her to descend to this world to enlighten Wudao. He expressed deep gratitude for her assistance on that day, mentioning that her beautiful face often appeared in his dreams. He requested her presence to alleviate the evil thoughts within him if she could show mercy. The system girl appeared and mentioned that she appreciated his devotion. Originally intending to wait until he unlocked the throne, she now made an exception due to his devoutness. Yin Wudao exclaimed inwardly about her beauty. The system girl responded, finding it intriguing and stating she was satisfied with the villain. Yin Wudao then asked the system master for a favor, requesting her to unlock the hidden feature of the villain's system. The system girl replied that he was perhaps overestimating himself. She explained that the system developed step by step, and he could only unlock new features by continuing to complete tasks and meeting the necessary conditions. Yin Wudao, removing a necklace from around his neck, remarked that this was her hiding place, correct? The system girl questioned his intentions. He placed the lead box inside the lead box and stated that since not even nuclear radiation could pass through it, a spirit like hers certainly could not, right? The system girl demanded to know what Yin Wudao wanted. He continued, mentioning that her spirit body should be similar in nature to light, and this specific black barrier prevented even light from passing through. Confused, the system girl wondered aloud why she couldn't walk through walls. She then warned Yin Wudao not to underestimate her. Yin Wudao replied confidently, telling her not to waste her time. He had created an impenetrable barrier around her, metaphorically likening it to a steel wall that poured water from head to toe. He urged her not to resist and to unlock all the features willingly. Enraged, the system girl called him a bastard and accused him of arrogance, threatening to make him pay a heavy price for disrespecting the great system. Yin Wudao commented that there seemed to be an issue with the system's stealth function. The system girl, thinking to herself, cursed him and wished him to go to hell. She then used her power from behind on Yin Wudao. However, Yin Wudao explained that according to the system's rules, it couldn't attack the host unless it failed a mission. He mocked her for thinking that being stealthy would be easy. He smiled and mentioned that he had advised her to learn, but instead, she acted recklessly. He intended to demonstrate the power of science to her, how everything on Earth freezes at absolute zero, including light. He stated that since she wasn't pure light, the extremely low temperature would be enough to make her visible. Then, grabbing both hands, he asked if it wasn't her neck he was holding. The system girl shouted at him, demanding he let go because it hurt her. Yin Wudao quickly withdrew his hand, apologizing and claiming he hadn't noticed for stealth until just then. Yin Wudao complained about the dropping temperature, urging immediate action to avoid freezing to death. He questioned Sudaji, noting her role as a system administrator, and wondered why she made things difficult instead of working together. He asked her what the divine villain system wanted from him. Sudaji explained that Yin Wudao was actually the reincarnation of Emperor Joxin. She introduced herself as Sudaji and stated her mission to assist him in reclaiming his throne. Yin Wudao kicked Sudaji's legs in frustration, demanding that she speak in a more understandable manner. Sudaji elaborated that throughout history, many noble warriors have fought villains to uphold morality. She revealed that the godly villain system accumulated grievances of deceased villains, and her duty was to control it to transform Yin Wudao into a divine villain, aiming to destroy all of heaven's pride. Yin Wudao expressed his fascination with Sudaji's appearance. When she asked what he wanted to do, Yin Wudao touched Sudaji, causing her to react angrily, calling him a shameless bastard for desiring control of the system. She then promised to help him unlock the hidden features. During his time the system displayed, Yin Wudao inquired about the reputation value, stating that he understood everything else. Sudaji clarified that reputation value could be exchanged for items in the shop. Yin Wudao further asked how one could collect reputation value, to which Sudaji responded that it could be acquired through earning people's worship or fear. Realizing this, Yin Wudao understood that it involved collecting followers and instilling fear. He then expressed interest in recovering and exploring the items available in the store. Yin Wudao admired the items displayed in the system, including strengthening potions, restoration potions, healing potions, and others. He particularly noted the usefulness of the clone item during critical moments, considering it a life-saving asset. He then apologized to Miss Su for his earlier actions, expressing hope for future sincere collaboration. Sudaji responded by slapping Yin Wudao and calling him a fool. Despite this, Yin Wudao encouraged her to continue if it made her feel better. The system registered his emotions as anger, shame, feeling wronged, and some regret. Yin Wudao declared that he did not wish to speak to Sudaji again. Subsequently, Sudaji locked herself inside the locket. Yin Wudao remarked that she was a resilient woman. Yin Wudao picked up the phone and greeted, saying hello. The person on the other end, Brother Wudao, informed him that he had broken an antique and was being asked to pay for it, seeking advice on what to do. Yin Wudao replied that if he broke it, he should pay for it. Suddenly, he asked if it was Euro and reassured them not to be afraid, requesting their current location so he could come over soon. On the other side, Lei Bin, the owner of Cloud Cafe, angrily berated Euro for breaking an important antique, specifically Emperor Chenghua's chicken cup from the Ming dynasty, and questioned her ability to afford its value. Euro defended herself, stating she didn't touch the cup and that Lei Bin dropped it after letting go. Lei Bin continued to berate her, threatening violence. Yin Wudao arrived at the scene and grabbed Lei Bin's hand, telling him to stop criticizing his audacity. Lei Bin angrily questioned Yin Wudao's authority to interfere with Cloud Cafe's business. Fang threatened Lei Bin with physical harm, but Yin Wudao intervened and calmed the situation, assuring Fang that he would handle Lei Bin himself. Then he asked Yura to explain what had happened. Yura recounted how a customer had brought in a Ming dynasty Emperor Chenghua's chicken cup for pawn some time ago. When Lei Bin took out the item today, he accused Yuru of mishandling it, showing her the cup with just one hand. Yuru had warned him to be careful, but Lei Bin intentionally dropped the cup on the ground after touching her hand and commenting on its softness. Hearing this, Lei Bin insulted Yuru, accusing her of breaking the chicken bowl and refusing to take responsibility. Yin Wudao sarcastically commented on Lei Bin's confidence and mocked the number of utensils he had, implying his embarrassment. Meanwhile, Xiaoqing, a female anchor, watched from a distance and remarked on how the bullied girl had found two handsome guys and noted the escalating situation. The system indicated that Yin Wudao gained prestige value by getting the favor of Sister Feng. Realizing the scene was being broadcast live, Yin Wudao saw an opportunity to accumulate more reputation. He suggested checking the camera footage to determine who broke the item. Lei Bin claimed the camera was broken. Yin Wudao called someone over, who nervously claimed ignorance. Yin Wudao then offered a significant amount of money in exchange for the truth. Li Bin warned the person, Shou Zhang, not to speak out for a little money. Yin Wudao countered, saying if Shou Zhang didn't talk, he would give the money to someone else. Feng questioned the boss's direct approach, noting it wasn't typical of his style. Yin Wudao, responding calmly, asked what the rush was and suggested waiting for the right moment. The boy then revealed through the laptop screen that it was actually Li Bin who broke the bowl and falsely accused Lin Yu. Li Bin, shocked by the revelation, wondered aloud what to do next, as the bowl was a valuable Ming Chengwa Du-Ka chicken bowl worth hundreds of millions. Observers reacted with comments noting the lack of absolute loyalty and the power of money. One commented on how the rich solve problems with money. Yin Wudao provocatively suggested that Lin Fang shouldn't hold back and should go ahead and smash him. Fang demanded to be let go and started breaking items in the shop. Li Bin, alarmed, questioned their sanity and threatened to kill Lin Yu if they didn't stop. Yin Wudao, holding Li Bin's hand, declared that he had tolerated him for too long and accused him of trying to take and hit Yu. He then broke Li Bin's finger, causing him to scream in pain. Yu thought about how fierce his actions were, finding Wudao both overbearing and handsome. The system indicated prestige values increasing by 1,000 to 2,000 and 5,000. Yin Wudao wondered aloud if the live broadcast could gain so much reputation. Xiaoqing observed the rising online viewership numbers and considered calling the police, realizing it wasn't scripted as the finger was genuinely broken. Li Bin, in pain, warned that they were finished because the business belonged to the Bai family, and offending them would have severe consequences. Yin Wudao then kicked Li Bin in the leg, causing him to fall. Yin Wudao exclaimed about making Shen alone face him. Li Bin cried out in pain, warning that they would regret it. Bai Youngy, the heir of the Bai family, demanded to know who was causing trouble in her Yangtze Jia and threatened their ability to remain in Jiangcheng. Li Bin, addressing her as Miss, declared that the troublemakers were finished now that she had arrived. Yu urged Yin Wudao to leave, expressing her reluctance to implicate him due to Chairman Bai's power and her desire to solve her own troubles. Yin Wudao retorted to Bai Youngy, questioning her authority as the future chairman, while her father was still alive. Bai Youngy, recognizing Yin Wudao, expressed surprise that he was still alive and called him a scumbag. Yin Wudao affectionately called her Aunt Yun, stating how much he missed her. Bai Youngy dismissed his words, stating that while he might deceive young girls, he couldn't deceive her. Li Bin, confused and thinking about the situation, realized that Yin Wudao might be someone significant and feared he was doomed. Yu, realizing they knew each other, noted that their relationship seemed far from normal. Bai Youngy, seated as the chair, asked for an explanation of the situation. Yin Wudao explained the incident, citing video evidence to support his claim that his people had suffered a loss and he needed answers. Bai Youngy acknowledged the situation and instructed Clerk Zhang to take the money and leave, emphasizing that compromising the honor of the seller once was enough to bar them from the antique business. The boy apologized, and Bai Youngy reassured him that there was no need to apologize as it was his decision. Turning to Li Bin, Bai Youngy mentioned that she had initially intended to groom him as the treasurer of the Bai family due to his inherited talent in appraising treasures, but she now considered giving him a chance fiscal. Li Bin apologized again, addressing Bai Youngy as ma'am. Enraged, Bai Youngy kicked Li Bin in the face, accusing him of causing trouble in Yangtze Jia. She questioned why he desired such responsibilities when he couldn't even handle holding the bowl, ordering the guards to take him away. Bai Youngy questioned whether the explanation was satisfactory. Yin Wudao asked Yu if she was content with the outcome. Yu replied affirmatively, stating that she was satisfied. Xiaoqing thought to herself about posting the incident, mentioning that her live broadcast room had been blocked again by Gochaguan, noting she wouldn't have finished if not for the 200,000 reward. She wondered if the sudden disappearance of reputation value meant the end of the live broadcast. The system girl asked how Yin Wudao had suddenly gained so much prestige, questioning if there was a bug in the system. Yin Wudao speculated that she didn't understand much about live streaming. Addressing Bai Youngy, Yin Wudao mentioned the expensive price of the chicken pot. Bai Youngy explained that more than 10 years ago, the chicken pot had been auctioned for a sky-high price of 280 million. According to the contract, she had to pay 10 times that amount. She lamented that it wasn't easy for her as a woman to make money for her family, noting that she could earn but also lose money. Yin Wudao suggested that he might be able to help. Bai Youngy responded, expressing genuine surprise and offering to give Yangtze Jia to him if he could indeed assist her with this matter. Yu wondered internally about delivering such a large antique store. Yin Wudao assured Bai Youngy that he would do his best. Fang questioned why they should help after causing damage to their store and establishing a relationship. Yin Wudao pointed out that Aunt Yun didn't blame them for the damage and even took action against Lei Bin to justify their actions. He believed that maintaining mutual respect and saving face was crucial in such situations. Fang speculated whether this was an unspoken rule in high society. The system confirmed the successful purchase of the repair potion, which cost 10,000 reputation value, leaving 205,004 reputation value remaining. Yin Wudao pondered how the repair potion appeared so suddenly and reflected that according to the instructions, using the repair potion successfully restored the cup to its original state. Bai Youngy expressed disbelief, questioning why he shouldn't glue it together and insinuating that others might think he's foolish. Yura remarked that the results seemed a bit perfunctory. Wudao agreed, stating that it was sufficient. After checking, Bai Youngy confirmed that the cup had completely recovered and was exactly the same as before. Yura noted that all the gaps had disappeared without a trace, marveling at Yin Wudao's skill. Qin Tian arrived to pick up his pawn, accompanied by Lu Man. Qin Tian asked Bai Youngy who they had offended, expressing concern about the store being smashed to pieces. Bai Youngy clarified that there had been a misunderstanding with boss Sai Qin, which had been resolved. Qin Tian quickly clarified that he was only concerned about the Ming Chengwa Dukai chicken cup he had pawned, ensuring it was in good condition. He added that the porcelain items should not be treated like those that are fragile. Lu Man wondered silently why the assistant captain of the CEO's Shield Secret Service was present and not apprehending spies. She emphasized not to reveal her identity to her. Bai Youngy assured Qin Tian that all the antiques in her possession, including his, were intact and not damaged. Qin Tian pondered the situation, questioning why his item was still intact when it logically shouldn't be. Lu Man asked Qin Tian if he had handled the cup, suggesting it could be fake if there were no traces left. Qin Tian replied that even though the traces were gone, it wasn't necessarily fake, but could be suspicious. He reminded Lu Man that it was a cup, not a bowl. Bai Youngy then questioned the authenticity of the item, pointing out the differences between authentic Chengwa porcelain and modern craft. Bai Youngy thought to herself that she had observed Wudao repair the item himself, so it couldn't possibly be counterfeit. Yuru acknowledged that Wudao's expertise in appraising treasures was extraordinary. She agreed with his assessment completely, stating that if she hadn't seen him repair the chicken pot cup with her own eyes, she would have believed it was not genuine. Yin Wudao considered how the repair potion successfully removed the imperfections from the antique. Qin Tian reminded Bai Youngy that according to the regulations, she would have to compensate him 10 times the price due to the mishap. Bai Youngy pondered whether she wanted Youngsi Jia to remain as simple as it was. She noted that all the antiques in Youngsi Jia had been damaged and even the sign board wasn't worth much anymore. She decided to provide compensation to Yin Wudao and Qin Tian, thinking it best to resolve the matter swiftly. Yin Wudao approached Bai Youngy and expressed satisfaction about the chicken pot being fake. Qin Tian pointed out that since Yin Wudao admitted to the falsification, there was no need for further discussion and demanded Youngsi Jia immediately. Yin Wudao clarified that while the chicken pot was fake, they were not the ones who faked it. Qin Tian questioned what Yin Wudao meant by that, to which Yin Wudao accused Qin Tian of being the one who faked it. Qin Tian warned Yin Wudao to be careful and not talk about it, threatening to sue for slander. Yin Wudao then provided details about the Ming Dynasty Chengwa Dukai chicken pots, mentioning that there were 19 in total, with only 4 in private collections. Qin Tian confirmed this and added that 3 of these 4 were in the collections of famous artists, with only 1 missing, claiming that his was the one unaccounted for. Yin Wudao remarked that it was truly an old lady under the quilt, smiling for his grandfather. He then instructed Lin Fang to go to the back garden of his villa and bring the cat feeding bowl from the cattery. Fang responded affirmatively. Qin Tian questioned if feeding the cat was a sign of remorse and sarcastically stated that despite having some money, one could never feed a cat with things worth hundreds of millions, suggesting it would be more like industrial spicy chicken sold for 5 yuan on the street. Xiaoqing, showing online, mentioned that she had finished explaining the cause and effect and was now waiting for the bowl to feed the cat, adding that there was no intense scene this time and it should not be banned again, indicating that it seemed to be back. Fang arrived and announced that he had brought the item. Yin Wudao mentioned that he got the bowl from his old man, that it looked good, and he used it to feed the cat, urging others not to dislike it. After checking the bowl, Yura confirmed that the glazed surface was indeed covered with clouds and that the color was restrained. Qin Tian expressed a desire to take a look. Upon examining the bowl, he realized it was genuine and thought to himself that he was stuck that day. Qin Tian declared that he would take back the pawn. Yin Wudao reminded him that according to the rules, the item should be destroyed.